Hi and hello everybody. Today we meet up again for our fifth video. The topic that we are going to discuss today is about climate change. So my name is Haniza Ayu Zakaria, metric number J45993, and my friend Aruna. Yes, Aruna.
Hi, I'm Aruna Sri and my metric number is J45987 and I'm from Bachelor Communication. Karatna?
Okay, hi. Assalamualaikum. I'm Ratna binti Saimin. My matrix number is J46059 and I'm from Bachelor Communication. Faliza?
Okay, hi. I'm Siti Faliza binti Muhammad Isa. My matrix number J46034.
Hi, my name is Divya Dr. Ravindran from semester 9 PGG. My matric number is J45997. I'm taking Bachelor Science of Human Resource Development, University Putra Malaysia, Sedar.
Okay, let me start the topic regarding climate change. Over the years, climate change has become a global environmental issue which dominates the international agenda and one of the most challenging issues for mankind. The news that I picked for today's topic was published in our local newspaper, The Star, dated 24th December 2021, with the headline, "The Role We All Play in the Climate Crisis That's Destroying the Planet." The article commented about how just recently Malaysia was shocked by some of the worst flooding to knock out the country in decades. Torrential rain battered us and caused severe flooding in 8 states, partially submerging some towns and villages. At least 40 people have died and tens of thousands are displaced. Clearly, it's a further sign of climate change. According to the article, extreme weather associated with global warming are causing catastrophes on a massive scale. The severe floods which happened over the weekend is further proof that Malaysia is never spared. When we recorded the video like 4 weeks ago and chose the topic that we wanted to discuss, I personally picked climate change just because I think most people acknowledge it but did nothing since it does not affect them directly or personally. It's none of my business, some might say. The recent flood hit is definitely an eye-opener for us. It's just that it's just sad that it needs something as massive, as catastrophic as this, claiming the lives of some innocent people, animals, and leaving many more homeless, to make people realize the reality of the role that we play in destroying the planet. It's because the selfishness that people, businesses made. Look just what happened to us recently. I hope that we all will learn something through this pain and do our level best to combat the impacts of climate change and global warming. How about you, Aruna?
Okay. In this climate change discussion, I chose a news which is headline Green Groups Call for Agency on Climate Change. This news from FMT by Daniel Azar on December 9 and 2021. So they mentioned 2 environmental groups have called for the establishment of a cross-sectoral government agency to address climate change and the occurrence of landslides and flash floods. The spokesman for Sahabat Alam Malaysia and Ecotourism and Conservation Society of Malaysia told FMT they would suggest an approach that would involve the forestry, water, wildlife, transportation, energy, and education sector. The current lack of clarity over which government agency was responsible for operating early warning system was one of the issues that needed to be resolved. Energy and Natural Resources Minister Taqiyuddin Ahsan said recently that more early warning system would be installed in landslide-prone areas. This was after the landslide killed 2 persons in Simpang Pulai, Perak. The Economy President Andrew Sebastian welcomed the installation of additional early warning system, but said the government needs to establish an agency and structure on climate change, put a framework through parliament and provide proper budget allocation for this. Another active Malaysian Nature Society President Ahmad Ismail called for the use of artificial intelligence and robotic system to monitor environmental quality and potential hazard. So from this news, um, their motive is a law was needed to address and manage the issues related to climate change. That's it. Karatna?
Okay. For this video, I choose prepare for impact of climate change and environmental destruction from New Straits Time. It was published on December 26, 2021. The torrential rains in the past week should not be a surprise. The Malaysian Meteorological Department had provided information and issued warnings since mid-December on the heavy and continuous rainfall, which led to the massive floods and landslides in the country. This extreme weather is one of the results of global warming caused by rising carbon emissions from human activities. Globally, extreme weather associated with global warming is causing catastrophes on a massive scale. Our severe floods are further proof that Malaysia is not spreaded. Our nation faces significant climate risk in the long term, with low-lying coastline becoming increasingly vulnerable to the impact of a rising sea. Extreme weather patterns are also increasingly threatening basic necessities like water, food security, public health, as well as resources that support our economy, including the infrastructure we have invested in. To combat the impact of climate change and global warming, we need a combined and comprehensive approach. Okay, the first approach is to build a climate resilience by adapting to the inevitable impact of climate change, and secondly, through climate mitigation to reduce carbon emissions resulting in net zero emissions. The first key measure to address this approach is by phasing out coal power. This is crucial actually, but hence it is encouraging to see that Malaysia has recently taken a no coal position. The nation has substantial potential to harness renewable energy in terms of solar energy, hydropower, and biomass. And then to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions, we must emphasize green investments such as in renewables, public transportation, low carbon mobility, and energy efficiency. Secondly, nature-based solution we must be priority. We should leverage of the country's rich natural capital, which provides us with a vital opportunity to protect our environment, reduce our carbon footprint, and at the same time create a competitive advantage. We need to protect our natural forests as a carbon sink to capture emissions and undertake forest restoration to mitigate the impact of climate change. Okay, that's all from me. Aruna, sorry, Divya.
Divya, yes.
So my news headlines for today is Malaysia's once in 100 years flood exposes reality of climate change. Better disaster planning needed, expert says. So I have searched this news from the internet, which is one of the website name is a CNA website on 21 December 2021. There are floods that resulted from the torrential rain in many states of Peninsular Malaysia over the weekend exposed the reality of extreme weather patterns caused by climate change, according to the environmental expert interviewed by CNA. With such events expected to happen more frequently in the future, experts also argue that authorities to do more in terms of disaster planning and promoting sustainable development. Environmentalists Renat Siu say that the floods that hit the several states, including Selangor, Negeri Sembilan, Kelantan, Pahang, Melaka, and Terengganu last Friday, December 17, and Saturday is a clear example of an unpredictable weather, even as a result of high carbon emissions. Dr. Siu, who is the climate change advisor to the Center of Governance and Political Studies, Malaysia-based behavioral and social science research firm explain that when we pump out a carbon dioxide to the atmosphere, what tends to happen is that this creates a global seeping effect where greenhouse gases trap heat and handle warmer conditions. Our atmosphere is able to hold more vapor and moisture. When you have an accumulation effect, the longer term impact of this is that you have sudden downpour of rain in certain localized areas. And that is what we have seen in floods over Malaysia in the last few days. He had it. He also argued that the government will improve its early warning system so that major floods even in the future can be better handled. So that's all my news. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
Iza.
Okay. My article is from LST by Cecilia Curran. Okay. This is about 6 things for students to know about climate change. Okay, many factors can cause climate change according to NASA. From the 6 things in this article, I will share only 2 things that I think it should be enough lah. Okay, first, climate change first became a concern around the 1960s, especially that effect of greenhouse gases began to add up. What showed up as unusual weather, crop failures, droughts, and floods were attributed to bad weather and other factors. Okay, the second, climate change isn't just about the weather. It can negatively impact human population and wildlife in a numbers of ways. According to a 2021 report by the United Nations, and many people will face chronic hunger, water scarcity, and home taken by rising water level as a result. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. So thank you for very informative knowledge sharing just now. So I would like to end our video today with a quote from Mahatma Gandhi. The earth, the air, the land, and the water are not an inheritance from our forefathers, but a loan from our children. So we have to hand over it to the next generation, at least it is handed over to us. So with that note, I would like to end our video today and thanking everybody. So we'll meet up in the next, the final video in a few weeks. Thank you. Bye. Thank you,
Okay, bye.
everybody. Bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.